to businesses and then You know,
Hello. Did anybody get hail today?
No.
I
Did
was
you?
in the office all day.
It just rained here, but I thought I saw a video somebody posted in another part of town.
Yeah. Crystal, you in the woods?
No, my event got canceled because of the rain.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
So there's four of us. Is that a quorum?
That is a quorum.
Okay. So, and the recording's on. Okay, so 7:01. We'll start our meeting and people will come along. Hey, everybody state your name. Lee Wessler here.
Crystal Adams here.
Jean Pillow here.
Lori Barefoot here.
I'm in mute
Okay.
because it says.
We hear you, Ray. Okay, no alternates to see.
Sorry.
Is anyone look at the minutes, and is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I motion to approve them. I've looked at them.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, raise your hands, or
Yeah.
no to oppose it? Any anyone nays or any abstentions? Okay, so that passes. And welcome, Ray. You have anything to bring up today, Ray? You're just fly on the wall.
It's been a while. Just trying to stay in connected with what's going on. Thank
Sure. Thanks for coming. Okay, it's gonna be a quick meeting. So Race is not here for the treasurer's report. Nothing for the chairperson's report. I don't have any communications. Crystal, any communications? No.
Not that I know of.
Okay. So moving on to old business. Jean, no DRC meeting, anything to report?
No, just that they're active on the plan of conservation and development and trying to encourage community participation. And I did participate in the first meeting that they had, which was very well run, mostly by Amy Monahan and help me with her name, Crystal. You know I'm talking about?
Delia Fay.
No, it was from economic development.
Oh, I thought it was Amy Monahan, mostly.
Well, she was definitely running the show and did a fantastic job. And if anybody has an opportunity to go to any of the other meetings that they're holding, I believe there's a couple more this week, I strongly encourage you to do so. And there's also an online survey about your opinions about the future of the town, and everybody should participate in the survey.
Yeah, I went to the second one. So I went to the Thursday night one. Or no, I'm sorry. When did I go? Friday night. I went to the Friday night one, and then there was a Sunday night one. Okay, open space. Crystal.
I don't have anything to report.
Okay. P&Z. It's the plan of conservation development. No other subdivision report.
Nothing that I've seen in any of their agendas.
Okay. Grace is not here for Ag Commission. Stewardship. Hopefully Jim is going to have some free time coming up, so he was going to maybe volunteer to steward the stewardship.
Jim is retiring.
Yes.
Mhm.
Anything with pollinator pathway, Gene?
We haven't had any activity since we put in the garden, and I still have not ordered the plaque. What would you,
Crystal,
ask you, what wording do you want on the plaque? I mean, Woodstock Memorial Pollinator Garden, dedicated whatever night that we did it, or is that,
yes,
okay,
that's perfect,
then that's what I'll do.
perfect. Crystal, anything new with Sustainable Connecticut?
No.
Okay, Lori, anything with dirt roads?
I actually saw something interesting with dirt roads. I was in Maine last week and I was on a lot of dirt roads. And I saw an interesting practice. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but I think it's called water bar intercept, where they use something like a rot tolerant piece of wood, cedar. They're probably using PT in a lot of places, but I think some of them were cedar, and they had them placed slantwise on the road with a rubber, just a rubber piece sticking up. So really heavy vehicles were traveling over these, and they had several of them placed with ditches dug on the side, swales sort of, and they worked. And it prevented washouts on the road with hardly any interruption. I don't know if those are common practice anywhere nearby, but they stood up to traffic, it seemed like, with heavy campers and heavy vehicles traveling over them. Yeah, Jean, I know you probably have lots of better ideas, but I saw, that's what I saw, and it was
The
working.
Conservation District installed one of those at Yukon near their horse area, because they had a major runoff problem on the road, and they do work, but you can't plow them. So they wouldn't.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
Road,
Unless they lift the plow a half an inch or something.
But there are other ways to build a that kind of rolling water bar kind of thing, where it's kind of like a sine curve. It goes up first, then goes down, and then goes back to level. And if you do it at the right interval, the plow will ride over it without gouging it, and the water gets diverted over the first hump to the side of the road. And I have recommended those to the Department of Public Works in the past.
Okay,
That's really cool that you're observing that. There's some really good examples. If you go into Yale Forest, they're extreme examples, but if you go into Yale Forest at their camp, they have them all through the road. And it does cause you to drive slower because you take out your axle if you go over it too fast. But that's how they manage water on their dirt roads in the forest.
Yeah, I think that the ones that I saw were sunk lower than most of them. They were definitely elevated a little bit, but the way that they got them higher was to add that rubber strip.
Yeah.
And that would, because they were state park roads, and like Aroostook State Park. And I know they would plow those roads. So somehow, maybe they're aware, they've got a marker or something on the side that where they're aware that they exist, but they survive it. And I think it's partly because they're sunk a little lower, but the rubber keeps, it adds the height and it's flexible.
Mm-hmm.
It also slows people down because when you come upon it, you don't really know what it is.
Mm.
We could do with more of that in this town.
yeah. Okay, Ag Day. Any discussion on that? Who can go? And we're gonna have the pollinator pathway thing. I'll say, Gene, my wife's created a great pollinator garden. I'll take a picture of it for you. See
I'll have to come over and see it.
is.
Do you guys have a medallion for your garden, for your property?
Oh, Beth and Maura, I just saw on my email came up that they're waiting to get in.
Let me check. I didn't, usually it pops up that someone's waiting, so let me check real quick.
Yeah.
See them here.
Yeah, I see. Maura sent me a text too.
Okay.
Oh, there's
Yes.
Jim. Wow, Grace.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's
Sorry.
Laura and Beth are still trying to get in.
Maura's in. I don't see Beth.
Well,
I'll send her an email, try again. Okay, let's see if she'll try again.
okay,
Okay, in the meantime, Jim gets seated as a
Okay.
voting member. So we're at the end. Backing up, Grace, anything for treasurer or ag debt or
no, the
ag commission?
treasurers, it's the 1914 and special is 2193.22.
Okay, any
So-
questions for Grace?
I
Okay,
just
so
have
we
some
have-
receipts I have to give to Grace. I'm sorry, I've forgotten about them until just now.
Yeah, well,
And then Grace, anything with ag commission?
no, just that Amy was doing presentations of the POCD. I did actually get to the one in the West Woodstock Library. God bless that girl. She's got more energy than God. But she said that, obviously they're trying very hard to get public participation. And hence the reason she's doing all these, presentations, because it is important and people have to know what's going on. And unfortunately, here in Woodstock, that's not what's happening.
Yeah,
Well, I did the online survey, so I was gonna try to make one of those meetings, but I at least did
Good.
that.
Yeah,
No,
I did the
and
online survey too, and I don't think it's anything native to Woodstock. I think it's anywhere you go. It's hard to get people involved in this kind
absolutely.
of thing.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And it just, as I say, it's an observation. As I say, the girl has been, knocking herself out trying to get this done. And as I say, there were only 5 or 6 of us at the library. I don't know how many people. She presented it at the Ag Commission. Just as you said, I mean, it's indicative of many small communities. People can moan and groan, but they don't want to get involved and don't take the time. Hopefully, she got a lot of feedback on the online stuff. I don't know, but anyway, she's working very hard. And it, basically, as she said, it goes to P&Z, which isn't, they shouldn't be the send-all tell-all. And the first meetings of the month, which are on,
Thank you.
I apologize, Crystal, you probably know this better than I, but they will be dedicated to the information on the POCD.
Yeah, that was one of my 3. I went to one of the meetings too, and one of the 3 downsides or things that we can improve. I wrote more volunteers.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
I'm curious if everybody went to the same format meeting. What they
Yeah.
did, was they kept asking a series of questions and we fill them out, pluses and minuses about this, and then we were given money and we put
Yes.
them. Okay,
Yes.
Yeah, Amy said it was the same as, because she told us what happened at the other meeting.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad I
two
didn't try to
meetings.
make another one.
Okay, so we're up to date there. Jim, I mentioned that you may be up for heading stewardship.
Oh, cool. To backtrack, please, who is here? Lee,
Lee,
Jim,
Lori,
Jean,
Jean, Jim,
Lori.
Crystal, you, and Maura.
Mara,
And Ray Moran.
Morgan,
Morgan, sorry.
public,
So he's public.
yes.
Okay.
And Grace, did you have any communications?
None that I had in the office, no.
Okay. So, anyone who just got here, anything to report about old business? And if not, we're moving on to new business. Anyone go to any conferences or aware of anything coming up?
Could we just backtrack? Do we
Yes.
have anybody that wants to sit at Celebrating Ag, please?
Oh, right. Okay, backtracking. That's where we're at. Yeah, so
Okay.
we just gotten done that. So let's talk about so what is the date?
I knew you were gonna ask me that. Hold on.
September 21st.
Thank you.
I think I saw that somewhere.
Yeah, it's September 21st because I know that because I'm not going to be in Connecticut that weekend.
Sure, just run away. No,
I'm working.
I know. I'm teasing. I'm teasing. Okay, yes, I have it written down. Brooklyn Fairgrounds. Again, Jean, you have the
I have the
board.
tablecloth and I have the trifold. And I
Mhm.
put in a shift.
So it's
Okay.
for 9 to 3.
Yes.
Yeah, so I
Mhm.
could get there like noon.
All right. Well, I'll set it up at, obviously at 8. I'm guessing. I'll have to get in touch with them again. I don't know whether we're allowed to go the day before or what, but we have to show off our new tablecloth, okay?
Now,
But
we don't have, are they providing tables or do we have to provide our own table? I can't recall. We
I
did
don't
this
think
last
so.
year.
We did not last year. The table was there.
Okay.
I will get in touch with them. As I say, I just was hoping that, Lee at noon, okay. Anybody else?
I said I could do a shift. So,
Okay, so give me a shift. It's from
Well-
9 to 3 is the date, the
you're gonna
time.
be there first thing in the morning? I could be
Yeah.
there. I could be there in the morning.
All right,
It's usually more busy in the morning unless it's one of those weird weather days.
yeah, really. Jean, 9. Anybody else?
I'm away that weekend, so I'm sorry, but I can't.
Sure, another one. Just run out of town, that's all.
And I'm working, Grace. I can't.
I know, I'm teasing. As I said, if, basically if Lee comes at noontime, it's not like we have a lot to offer. We just have things that they can read, hopefully. I don't have any, I do have a couple of handouts. I'll go to the town hall and pick them out. But unless you have things with your pollinator pathway.
I might still
stuff.
have some. I don't have access to a copier anymore, so I'll have to do an inventory. And
Mhm.
Is there a policy about making copies at the town hall that's changed in recent years, Crystal?
I have no clue. I didn't know there was a policy.
I asked Crystal. Crystal?
Oh, I-
Sorry, I'm muted. What old policy are you referring to, Jean?
Well, we were allowed to make certain number of copies of things for outreach, but
Yeah, I mean, like, if we have black and white copies, I'm happy to make those. Color copies, you probably should take that to Staples or, a place that you can pay to do that.
well, the ones that we've been handing out that seem very popular are the 11 by 17 color, folded in half,
Yeah,
brochures.
that's something that you should probably go to a copy place because the color ink is very, very expensive.
Well, then we'll need a budget.
all right, so all in favor of budget for Jean to go make some copies?
Well, no, is there a second? We have a motion. Is there a second?
Okay,
Well,
I
don't you have to know how
get a
much?
number.
I think it would be under $50. It's something that we could approve without a
Okay.
vote.
Okay, yeah, in that case, if it's under $50, I approve it.
okay.
I would only make, if, I don't even know how many I have, but, because they're all in the case in the garage, but, I think 20 copies, maybe, I don't even know what they charge for color copies. It's been a long time since I've had to go to a place to do that.
I think it's
I used to
shockingly
just do it at
expensive.
work.
I think it's shockingly expensive for a 17 inch piece of paper, so you should pad that budget a little bit. You might be surprised at how much it is.
Can you make it smaller?
No, it wouldn't be readable.
What is it?
It's a bifold thing about pollinator plants that are for the ecoregion 59 and different seasons of bloom. So you can have continuous bloom. It's a really well done brochure that I've been giving out for years. And Maura, are there any brochures that the district can donate for this? Or you-
Pollinator brochures?
Or any things about native plants or anything?
I don't know. I'll have my own table, ECCD. So,
Oh, you're
I-
doing
if-
it? Okay.
well, myself and Megan, who is our new outreach person,
Huh. Be
she's
interested.
gonna, yeah, she's gonna join me. So, well, if we have extra stuff, I guess we can give it to you.
Okay. I've always put them on our table in the past, and I just don't have access to them.
What happens at 3:00? Where does the board go?
It gets put back into the sleeve, and the tablecloth gets folded up, and somebody takes it home. And I did it last time because I have it. So we've been just kind of storing it at people's houses. We really should be storing it at the town hall.
No, there's no room at town hall. Where are you gonna put it?
Didn't we keep it in room C?
I think that's a office now.
No, I didn't know.
Downstairs? Wow. Oh, no, room C is no, there's no room in there for the poster. I'll take it. I'll stay for the day. I'll take it home. Don't worry about it.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah,
Any other discussion on
We
ag?
still have pencils, Grace.
yes.
Well, those could go on the table too.
Good
Yeah,
idea.
there is some stuff in the cabinet, that's not dated. So, I mean, that we've always put out about, I don't know, wells and stuff like that. But I will go to
septic
town
system.
hall and figure it out.
Thanks, Grace.
Mm-hmm.
Any other discussion? Good, excellent. Okay, then move on to new business. So now any conferences coming up or anyone attend anything? And if not, then
I
we'll-
think Khaki-Wick is coming up, isn't it? Grace?
yeah, we announced, yeah, in November. That
Yeah,
should,
I was
we
gonna
announced that
say.
last meeting. Yeah, I can tell you
Oh,
exactly.
I wasn't here, so I guess I didn't know that.
Let's see.
It is on, I have the brochure here.
Hmm.
Next the date.
I did see something about that.
Saturday, November 16th. It's the 50th anniversary.
And it feels like we've been to all of them. No,
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Ah,
Okay, moving on to open discussion. Lori, anything?
I don't have anything to add.
Jean?
Yes, I do. The draft report from last year's Riffle Bioassessment Program that DEEP runs, and I was leading for the last Green Valley. We did 4 streams in Woodstock. Ray, your wife will be very interested because she was there at one of them. We sampled Peak Brook, we sampled Peckham Brook, we sampled English Neighborhood Brook, and we sampled Safford Brook, which is at where it intersects Smith Road, which is where Grace and I live. And all 4 of them met the minimum requirements to be supporting aquatic life according to DEEP's water quality standards, which is really good to be able to get those stars put on a map. And Safford Brook, it was very interesting because, you know, I've never had so many, the program uses bugs that are sensitive to water pollution. And if you get 4 or more of those kinds of types of bugs, different ones in this short list of ones that they made the program based on, then the stream passes. And in Safford Brook, we had 10 different varieties, which is, it's just a headwater stream that drains part of West Woodstock and it goes down towards the Natchog River.
Thank you.
okay. I did want to, it's off in October, but Stockbridge, Massachusetts has a town event, and it's how they promote forests in the town. I went last year. It was wonderful, very, very informative. And, let's face it, we're very close. It's free.
Stockbridge?
Yep.
We're not close to Stockbridge. Southbridge?
Sturbridge?
Well, we're close to Massachusetts. Don't push it, Lee.
Well, Stockbridge is in the Berkshires.
Yeah, but a nice ride.
Well, it's a wonderful day. I had a heck of a good time. They feed you well, and you get a lot of information on how the town takes care of their open space and their forests. If anybody's interested, I'm going. We could go together, even if it is an hour away. But I just wanted that,
Like 2
that
hours.
and,
Sorry, go ahead.
that and also the end of October 29th is the SIPWIC Symposium. And it's going to be in person. Thank you, God. That's the Connecticut Invasive Plant Working Group. It's going to be at UConn. That's not free, but if anybody's, as I say, interested, just give you a heads up. And the Seneme Conference is on October 5th. And that's, it's at one of the schools. I can't remember which one. But anyway, they're, as I said, not until October. And obviously, registrations are not until next month. So
I missed
I'll
the name of
repeat it.
that third conference you said. Could you repeat it?
Seneme. It's the Southern New England Marine Educators. It's all about Long Island Sound, that all waters go into the sound, but it also comes from other states and how they deal with a lot of the issues of the water quality. So,
Thank you.
Okay, anything else, Jean?
No, that was my big news.
Anything else, Grace?
no, I think that's about it. Was there any, I apologize. I obviously was not in on the beginning of the meeting. Was there anything else from Stewardship or Pollinator Pathway, or? You
No
said-
report from Pollinator Pathway.
Okay,
There is a report from the Dirt Roads.
okay. What is that?
So, I did end up, I told you all that I did go to the inland wetlands meeting in February, showed them a lot of pictures of continued stormwater runoff and erosion of the road into nearby vernal pools over on Taylor Road and Sherman Road. And I mean, I think it's happening in other places, and also, yeah, Sherman Road into wetlands. So they were concerned about that. And so I did follow up with Dan Malo, who is the inland wetlands agent. And he, what was talked about at that meeting, and some time has gone by because of Jay Swan passing, and so basically he has been talking with Jason Scranton, who is Department of Public Works, and I am meeting with Jason and Chandler Paquette on Wednesday, and Dan, to talk about future or long-term planning. And I had given them, Jean had given me some documents, policy documents and models from Vermont, which I had shared with them. Also in the meeting, some other members talked about that there are case studies that are regional, and even saying maybe reach out to UConn civil engineering students, try to get them involved. So I think we'll be talking about things like that, and maybe even a regional workshop for best management practices. So there's a whole list of roads that Dan came up with. And I don't know if, so I think the point was to try to prioritize the most important ones. And I think, being wetlands violations, that these are, getting into the nearby vernal pools and wetlands, those will hopefully be on the top of the list. So it feels good that there's been some progress made, and I really appreciate, Dan following up, and just Jason is really helpful, and I've talked to him as well. So really hopeful that things can move along, and I will, oh, and the other good thing is that I talked to my boss at ECCD, and this can be, I can be paid for my time on this out of our block grant, and because this tells you that you're not paying, we're not paying ECCD for nothing. So this is part of like the $500 that you give a year, is that we can provide technical assistance. So I will need to be doing some research, and I may ask for Jean's professional opinion, being a CPESC certified professional erosion and sediment control professional. So hopefully we'll make some progress. So
That's
good
really
news.
awesome news. I do recall that the NatJog Healthy Watershed Based Plan and one version of the Little River Watershed Based Plan mentions the importance of maintenance on dirt roads. So I deliberately installed that in there so that it would be potentially eligible for funding for remediation projects. So,
Oh, nice.
so you'll have to find those chapter and verses
Yeah.
to quote, and that'll help with again, if there's a need to bring in a consultant, an expert, there's justification, and hopefully we can get some grant funding to take care of that.
Nice.
Yeah,
I
thanks,
guess I
Maura.
had
Good
forgotten
job.
that because that document was so big.
Well, it might have been the original one, or maybe it was
Oh,
Roseland
okay.
Lake. Could have been Roseland Lake Management Plan. I don't remember which one. I've written so many plans.
Okay, Maura, do you have anything else?
Nothing to add.
No, not Maura.
Oh, you mean besides that? No,
Yeah.
I was actually going to mention the SIPWIG. That was actually what I was referring to when I said Kakiewicz, because I was like, I thought that was in October, but Grace mentioned it. So there you go.
Okay, Jim, any open discussion?
Nothing, Ted. As I mentioned to Lee, by email, I'm gonna be retiring in another month, so I'll have some more time, and I'd be interested in like taking on any particular projects especially, so I don't know if the stewardship is, but I guess I would need to know what sort of, we could talk about it, what steps need to be taken to get that going. Where we've been at with it.
Yeah.
But it's been pretty much up in the air, you know, it would be, I mean, maybe Beth knows the different properties and
Well,
basically.
Beth and myself did
Okay.
actually do some work on it a few
Yeah.
years back.
Okay.
But I can give you what I have, but again, it's I think
Okay.
this is the problem, is that you almost need to be you need to be versed a little bit in some kind of surveying, which maybe you are, I don't know, but
No.
yeah, so you know, it's kind of like looking, I mean, that's one aspect, is that making sure the boundaries are properly marked.
Right.
So that can be, you know, difficult to sort of figure out, but I don't know. I guess it depends to what degree, you know, we need for this to be accurate too. I mean, there may be surveys that the town has done, or maybe not, but there is a list, and I don't know, it probably needs to be updated. And I think there was somebody, was it Ruby involved? She had the list.
No, I have the list.
Okay, well, she
And
originally,
Jim
I'm
and
sorry.
I actually created that list more years ago than I care to think about. We went to
More
town.
years ago than I can remember.
There
Okay.
you go.
Yeah, I never knew the originality, although I thought Jean had some part in it as well with somebody from the town
Oh,
hall.
yeah.
But anyway, it's,
Yeah.
you know, so it's sort of like, anyways, you know, I can tell you what I know, but it's basically just trying, and also we were trying to work on finding stewards for
Right,
each of these
right,
properties, because
right.
really that's, you know, and so people that live that are abutters
Nearby,
are
yeah.
typically, yeah, and we
Mhm.
actually did talk to some people. What we did was we reached out to the abutters, because you always should contact all the abutters before you go out there, because you never know.
Sure.
Somebody could have a gun, right, Grace?
Oh,
And-
yeah.
So
Or dogs.
So
No.
now it's all coming back to me. So Ruby would send out letters, which was really nice. So she would send out letters to all the abutters, telling them a time frame that we were probably going to be out, and also saying, if you would like to participate, please contact, you know, us. And so actually some people did, and they were like, yeah, we'll be stewards, but it's sort of like, then after that, it's sort of, so I think there's
Oh.
people out there that are willing to do this. It's just sort of somebody has to be very organized about like
Okay,
going to the properties, keeping track of it all, like
Sure.
trying to find the surveys if any exist, and like, so it's sort of a process.
well, that's,
Yeah,
that sounds good. I mean, that's the kind of thing, like, it's sort of a discrete project. I know it's ongoing, but there are like
Yeah,
specific things that need to be done, so
right.
kind of thing that I'd be interested in.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's a completely accurate survey. I think is less important than making sure somebody is watching and make sure there's no gross violations. And then if we want.
Squatters,
Squatters?
squatters, you could have squatters.
Yeah, so, make sure there's no gross violations, and then, if you want, then, we could have all the stewards meet at town hall once a year just to give a report.
that's a good idea.
And celebrate them for
So
doing it.
I'll
Cheese and
contact
crackers.
Lisa and Maura about that. I'll get the list and then also talk to you separately about.
Yeah, and
Cool.
I can also provide what information I have from having worked at a land trust, because you will need to give the stewards direction, maybe even a little booklet of what are they looking for, what is a violation, that kind of stuff, so.
Okay, sounds good.
Great, thanks.
Has
Jim.
anybody walked the 50-acre wood trail recently?
No.
What condition is that in?
I
I
heard that
know
there
a
were some
friend of mine-
trees down.
Yeah,
Sorry, this
that's
is
what I heard.
Crystal. I heard that there were some trees down on it.
Okay, Crystal, do you have any open discussion stuff?
No, I do not.
Okay. Ray, do you have anything to chime in?
No, thank you.
Hey, thanks. Okay.
Tell Pam I said hi and we have good bugs.
Yeah, yeah, you mentioned bugs. She's just smiling. Yeah, she remembers that. Thanks.
Okay, so does anyone have anything else for the greater good? And if not, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll
I
move-
make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Meeting is adjourned at 7:43. Thank you, everybody. Have a great Labor Day. And we'll see you guys next month.
And I'll see some of you at Celebrating Egg Day.
I'll see you there, and I'll send the picture of our gardens. Jean.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Take care.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Good night.